right, before we stopped in class, we were here and we were about to graph these points down there. So when you have a semi-log plot, basically this axis becomes the log of all your values, right, of all your input. So when we have a number like in year 1840, it was 17 million, we have to do the log of the 17 million, 69,453. So when you do that, you get the number 7.2322, all right? And then we have to do the log of this right here. So when we do that, we get the number 7.4975. So these numbers represent the log of the value, okay? And let's see. Over here, the log of this one is 7.7006. This is called a semi-log plot. And it's called a semi-log because the x-axis is still normal. Nobody's like condensed it or anything like that or changed the value. It's still linear. It's still, you know, up by 20. But here we're changing by so much differently, because remember, you know, 10 to the first, that's 10. And you'll understand it a little bit more when we do the bottom. 10 to the second, that's 100. 10 to the third is 1,000. So what that does is it basically allows our data to be a little bit more spread out than it normally would be. All right. So let's take a look. So if we have to graph these, now on the last page, it told you that time equals 0 was 1620, right? Let me make sure that's true. I think so. Yes, 1620. All right, so that means that 1840, that would be 220 years past that. And then 1860 would be 240. And then my time here would be 260. So basically it's these 3 points right there. All right, so when I go to graph this, I'm going to graph 7.23. So I'm going to go to 220 right there and graph over here 7.23. So I will basically be a little bit above or around the 7, right? So if I kind of go over and say to myself, okay, well, there's 10 to the 7th, I'm going to be a little bit above here, okay? So basically right about there, okay? Then I'll be at 7.5, so I'll be up there, and 7.7 right there, okay? So basically it just kind of like trickles up there. All right, so you're going to be able to do it a little bit better, and of these semi-log plots, they'll be like one, probably just like one of them on the AP exam or whatever, but you have to know how to deal with them. So write this little saying to yourself over here. Write this: from low to high, from low to high are what you count from and what you count by, right? From low to high are what you count from and what you count by. So what you count from and what you count by. So let me explain to you what that means. So over here, just normal what we're used to. That's my x-axis. My y-axis is in logs. And so what happens here, you know, the 0 right here, remember 10 to the 0 is 1. So from low to high are what you count from and what you count by. So we're starting from 1 and we're also counting by ones. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so each of these lines is worth 1. And so what happens here is the scale here is proportional. So do you see how like this piece right here, this is about half of that, and this is about half of that. It's not exactly half, but it's proportional. So it's reducing in size by proportional amount. So it creates that kind of like fading effect. All right, so let's do 10. 10 is what I'm counting from, and then I also count by 10. So if that's 10, this is 20. And then this is 30, 40, 50, and so forth. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Then 100, what's what I'm counting from and what I'm counting by. 100, then 200, then 300, then 400, and so on all the way up to 1,000. So that's how you kind of number the axes in your mind. So let's go ahead and graph these points. So if I'm graphing 1 and 20, so I'm over at 1, 20. Here was 10, and when I'm at 10, I'm going to count by 10, so 10 plus 10 is 20. So there is point A. 2 and 300. So I'm at 2. Now here's my 100, so these are all my hundreds right here. So this is 100, this would be 200, 300. Remember, I'm counting from 100 by 100. 3, 2. So 3, well, this is 1, my low point, and I'm counting by 1, so this will be 3, 2. So that's point C. All right, and 4, 15. So I'm in my tens. So I'm in the tens. I'm counting from 10 by 10. So this will be 20. So 15 should be like right in the middle right here. All right, so that's D. And then here, 350. I'm in the hundreds. So let me go to where 100 is. This is 100, 200, 300, and halfway right there. Okay, so that would be point E. All right, so it feels a little bit weird at first, but you get used to it and, you know, whatever. It looks kind of pretty, right? Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.